We deserve this, lads. We totally deserve this. We went from 10, 11 years of 20 mil profit on our net spend, mate. We had Wenger out here moving as if he couldn't sign nobody, as if Arsenal wasn't a massive club. We were moving as a mid-table club when it came to finances. But Arsene Wenger, for that time, had us extremely competitive for the money that we were investing. And now we are signing Declan Rice, who's the most expensive English player of all time, lads. Of all time, Arsenal. Big boy money. We buy Kai Havertz, who was man of the match of the Champions League final not too long ago. And we're signing Timber, who was rejecting the likes of Man United and other clubs who were coming in for him because he only wants Arsenal. We are moving like big boys. And you know what's best? We are now looking at another Real Madrid midfielder, right? We got Ozil from them, and now it looks like we are getting another star in the midfield. Tchouaméni, baby. This man has done it all, really, in football. He's very close to completing football. This lad is a very good midfielder, and we are going to look into him. Moises Caicedo his price is way too high, and, Romeo Lavia, we don't want to get scammed from Southampton, so we're going to look at him, who is a proven player in the Champions League and La Liga, and could definitely come in and do bits. Imagine a midfield, lad, of Tchouaméni, Declan Rice, Odegaard, or Kai Havertz, Smith Rowe, all these options, mate. Jorginho. This is, honestly, if Arsenal pull this off, they might possibly have the best squad in the world if they bring in Tchouaméni, who's Champions League proven, who's done it in the international level, who's done it on every single level. This is class. This gets me excited because if Arsenal would have got Camavinga or him right now, I'm telling you, this team is set for the next 20 years. Dynasty. Man City, we're going to end that era. No doubt about it. You might be saying, why would Tchouaméni just leave Real Madrid out of nowhere? Well, it's not really out of nowhere, because if you check this out, they have signed Jude Bellingham for $100 million. There's no way a $100 million dollar player is going to be sitting the bench. Tchouaméni last season was sitting the bench already. And not only have they brought in Bellingham, they brought back Diaz from Milan. So you have Bellingham and Diaz coming into the midfield. There's only 3 positions really, and a couple of these lads can be a little versatile, like Valverde can go to the right wing position. This is obvious. If Mbappe doesn't come in, we could see Valverde play a lot on the wing, or maybe a change of formation where you have 4 center mids, since you have so much, so many options here, because obviously Luka Modric is starting. I don't see him falling out of this team next season. I think when he leaves, he'll be on top. Toni Kroos, he's probably the midfield out of the 2 that could be benched. So let's say he's benched. Camavinga's definitely going to be playing. I think he's absolutely been a stud this season. And Jude Bellingham. So obviously 3 out of these 4, the 3 starters are definitely going to be Jude Bellingham, Modric, Kroos, and Camavinga. Well, for sure, at least 3 of those will be the starters. Valverde, he's probably going to move up to right wing. Brahim Diaz, he's going to come in as a sub, and that leaves Tchouaméni out. Tchouaméni, and then Ceballos is the last option here, no question about it. This man could, he was, his time at Arsenal, I'll say this from him. He was decent. He was one of our better players in a very dark time. But Tchouaméni is falling out of the club, and if he comes to Arsenal, he's a starter straight away. He's walking into the team, and nobody is going to tell him, no, lad. You're going to be next to Odegaard. You're going to be next to, Declan Rice, possibly Kai Havertz if he's going to be playing in that position. But if you manage to get Tchouaméni after $100 million buy for Declan Rice, you bring in Kai Havertz, who's a Champions League final hero for Chelsea, and you bring in Timber, who's a great defender, who's going to bring exponentially just help the depth on the right back to right center back position. Now we're going to go from the times where we had El Neni starting in the midfield with Granit Xhaka at the Old Trafford. To who? Declan Rice. The most expensive English player ever. Tchouaméni, Champions League winner from Real Madrid, proven in every single level. Odegaard, mate, from Real Madrid as well, who last season was absolutely world class in my opinion. I understand what Kevin De Bruyne did, but in the Premier League, he was better and more consistent, Martin Odegaard. You can crucify me in the comments down below, but in my opinion, last season Odegaard was above De Bruyne. If you bring me Tchouaméni, we've came a long way, lads. We had a positive net spend in over a decade, and now we're spending big boy money. Well, we deserve, Arsenal fans, we deserve this. I never thought I was gonna be able to see this, but this is, man. This is what we've been waiting for our whole life. The Cronkies conquered the U.S. with all these sports. With the Colorado Avalanche winning the hockey, the NHL, the Cup. I'm sorry, I don't really pay attention to hockey. The Rams win the Super Bowl. The Denver Nuggets are NBA champions. And now it's time for Arsenal's time. And these lads are not playing around. They paid the Declan Rice fee. I thought we were gonna get outbid by City, but they said, "Nah, mate. It's Arsenal's turn to shine. We're gonna send you the money. We're taking out. We aren't gonna bring back a super team for the Rams. No. We're rebuilding over there. All that money, send it to Arsenal." It's all I've been asking, Cronkies. All the protesting, all the outrage. We are spending big boy monies, and I cannot be more happy. And I am very apologetic to you guys, to the Cronkies, Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke lads. You bring in Tchouaméni. I will never criticize the Cronkies in my life. I'll have a Kroenke, graphic t-shirt. If you guys bring in this lad, I will get, if you bring in him or Camavinga, lad, you've done it. But the thing is, Real Madrid, typically when they bring in a big boy midfielder, they typically sell one. When Mesut Ozil was sold, it was because they were bringing in midfielders that were, in the same position. They bring in the likes of Luka Modric, James Rodriguez, all these types of midfielders. Tony Cruz, he came in. They sold Ozil because he was they brought in new players. They felt that they could, replace him, and they did. And, they ended up going on to win all those Champions League, and it works out. And they brought in Jude Bellingham and Brahim Diaz from loan and from Dortmund. So many people thought, we're speculating it was going to be Valverde, but if Arsenal provide a decent offer and the Mbappe thing is serious, I could see Tchouaméni get sold to Arsenal and Mbappe get signed to Real Madrid. But man, that would be spectacular for both sides. I think Real Madrid fans would be very happy to see Mbappe there. If they have to sell Tchouaméni for that, they'll do it in a heartbeat. And Arsenal fans, are we not going to take a Champions League proven player who's won the Champions League, who is a starter for France? Lads, if you're not going to do that, I'll do it. I'll come in there and pull the trigger for you guys. But anyways, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and make sure to leave a comment down below. How realistic do you think Tchouaméni is to Arsenal? I believe it's only realistic if the Mbappe, this transfer window to Real Madrid is serious, then 100% it's happening. But I would love it, and I think it deserves.